The first excavator got absolutely mired down over the tracks, and they tried for hours to get that excavator out. Eventually brought in a second excavator to pull the first excavator out. I'm gonna do my best to capture this for you guys without too much wind noise, but it is a breezy, cold, wet morning. And this is just kind of follow up to the vlog we did yesterday. Guys, I am so stoked right now. I am so excited because after who knows how many years, this thing still works, and it's huge. When we initially drained this pool, we found a pump in the bottom of the pool that has been sitting there for Lord only knows how long. And I hooked it up last night before I closed up for the night. I didn't catch it on film, but I tested it and it seemed like it still worked. So I said, what the heck? This morning I went ahead and I just touched up a couple areas that I thought might be water issues. I had some waterproofing tape that I put on it. I've got it all connected, dropped it in the well, or dropped it in the pool, ran some hose. I'll walk down there and show you, but I went ahead and I took some extra tubing that I found laying around here, and I found, of course, the pool vacuum hose, and I just attached those together to give me a really long run off down the hill. I'm gonna walk down here, guys. I am so excited because I've got this pool draining now. I didn't have to run out and buy anything. I was able to use, again, things we already had from where we moved in. And yeah, there we go. Again, sorry about the wind, guys. I know this has got to sound bad, but I can't control Mother Nature, and honestly, a good breeze will help dry some of this out a little bit. But anyway, it's draining. I'm happy. The reason I have it set up on blocks like that is so that from the house, I'm gonna walk back behind the house here to block the wind some, but I have it set up on blocks like that because from the house I can go ahead and keep an eye on it, and if I don't see light reflecting off the water as it's coming out of that pipe, then I know my pump has stopped running and I need to get out and take a look at it. But this way it's just an easy maintenance to see, and the block at the bottom just is keeping me from eroding the ground a little bit while it's draining out. So it's gonna do its thing. My guess would be it'll take probably until late Monday, early Tuesday for that to be 100% empty. The guys are coming with the aggregate to fill this thing on Tuesday. I am not gonna mess with trying to take the steel off the sidewalls, because what I didn't realize is until today when I got the cover off, that steel is actually wrapped up under the concrete lip that goes all the way around, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out. I will have to try to get the liner cut, so I have to figure something out from that. But yeah, in the meanwhile, I can't do anything until enough water gets out of this pool for me to be able to get to at least the shallow end and get that liner cut out. So it is Monday morning and it is cold out here this morning, folks. She got down to, I would say, 30, 31, somewhere right in there last night. All the vehicles are frosted over. Gotta love it. I got some quick chores to get done this morning before I have to start the full-time job, which I probably should have done about 15 minutes ago. Well, that's all right. So I got the chickens out this morning. They're getting their legs stretched a little bit, and their chicken waterer was completely frozen over and just about empty. So yeah, I got that going back in this morning. Give them, I don't know, I probably put about 2.5 gallons in it, so it'll last for a few days here, easy. Trying to make sure I have no escapees. Good morning. Yes, here's your water. Let me check your food while I'm at it. Oh, food's good, especially since I've got so much to eat coming out from that. Do you want to say good morning? All right, now I got the chickens done this morning. Got my indoor chores done this morning. I got to check this pool. Tonight is the night they are supposed to mobilize their crews to come out and fill this tomorrow. And I shut the pump off last night because it was starting to drain. I'm gonna flip this around. So it is partway down that washed out sidewall now. So all the, that means that all of the low end is completely drained. And now we're just right down here into the deep end. So I don't suspect this will take very long to drain at all. But I didn't want it to run overnight and run out because of the way I do have the float sensor just stuck in the upright position to make sure it runs, because the float sensor is a little bit touchy. So I'll get that running this afternoon probably, and we'll get this cover off after it's drained and get a better look this afternoon too. But for now, back inside. We took Cora to the vet this afternoon, and turns out she has cherry eye in both eyes, which is a third eyelid tear duct issue. So we are taking a break from the bucket and letting her get some breathing time, and then we go back. As long as she doesn't dig at her eyes, we'll leave the bucket off as much as we can, but if she starts digging at her eyes, then we are gonna have to put the bucket back on. So in the meanwhile, she gets a reprieve, and she is very, very happy about it. And I am going to walk over here and show you this pool now that it is mostly empty. The pump that I had working on it, there is a float for it that died about 2 hours ago. It got super hot and started sparking through the outer jacket, and because it had been silicone adhesive to the main plug, and then I put the water wrap tape on it, I just can't get it off. So I had checked with the pool guys when they came out today, and they said it would not be a problem to have a little bit of water left in the pool, that the aggregate will soak that up. So I'm not going to worry about it, but tomorrow I will have to get all this fencing down out here and get it out of their way, get the stakes out of the way. Yeah, just get the cover out, just general, site maintenance to make sure they can get in and out. And yeah, let me show you this pool here. So this is our giant hole in the ground. This is literally what you would call a money pit. It is the epitome of a money pit, considering we are paying money just to make the pit disappear. And we still have to buy another pool, which we've already done. But the point is, all we're doing is paying money to fill a giant hole in the ground. On the bright side, I asked the guys again today, and they are pretty confident that we can start building over top of it as soon as we are ready to do so. So a swing set can happen pretty quickly. Oh, it is about 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun is not quite up yet. It is starting to peek through. We actually have, if I can find it, there it is, quite the full moon going in the background. There's sunrise getting ready to happen. The camera adjusts to the brightness. All right, well, the contractors couldn't give me an exact time on when they were going to be here this morning because their truck got a flat tire on it last night on its way out, so they had to get that changed and decided they would just bring their equipment out this morning instead of last night and let it sit. So they said they could be here as early as 7. Of course, it is 7 and they're not here. I'm not shocked. It's the way things go. But I do have some deconstruction to do to get the fencing perimeter down and make sure the backyard is clear. But before I do that, we've got to let our flock of feathered friends out this morning. I can already hear them in there hollering for me. Let's see. been an active bunch this morning. All right. They'll get their water. I'm gonna let myself back out here. Oh. Final look at the pool this morning. I gotta get Theo's water table brought in. I gotta get this pedestal from the fountain or the bird bath moved. I actually was using that for camera tripod for the camera while I was recording in the backyard, and I gotta say it actually does pretty good because it's so heavy it doesn't want to fall over. And I should get this pile of concrete that was left over from when they did the basement and did the reinforcement and throw that out in here into the pool this morning too. So, a lot to do. Don't know how much time I've got to do it, so I guess I need to get to it. Until I get a contractor on site, I don't think I'm going to take this fence the rest of the way down. If for some reason they don't make it today, which I don't have any reason to suspect they won't, but if for some reason they don't, then I'm going to have this giant pit exposed all day, and I'm just going to have to reassemble it again. Should only take me 20-30 minutes to yank this down and pull the chain out of the way, chain link fence out of the way, get those T-posts out. So I think I'm better off to wait until they actually pull up in the driveway, and then I'll take it down. So I'm gonna call it a morning for now, and as soon as they pull in the driveway, then I'll come back out and finish this. So they did not get done today. I have a skid steer, a tractor trailer, an excavator, and a second excavator in my yard. If it does not rain bad, they plan to come back tomorrow and do some additional work. But unfortunately, they were doing really good today, and they were not originally concerned about me having about a foot of water left in the bottom of that pool. But that was enough that when they put the aggregate in, the first excavator got absolutely mired down over the tracks, and they tried for hours to get that excavator out. Eventually brought in a second excavator to pull the first excavator out, and that didn't work. So they worked for hours. They finally did get it out, but it took them quite some time to make that happen today. So they didn't make as much progress as they would have liked. But on the bright side, the aggregate is drying, so it should be pretty solid tomorrow unless we get a torrential downpour. So whenever they come back to do this, we should be good for them to finish it in the same day. I think the pool actually tried to eat the excavator just to get even. It didn't want to go away. So I thought it was going to try to just swallow the whole excavator, and that was kind of funny. But all right, well, here is our backyard on the first day of trying to fill the pool. So here is what is left of the pool. This was the deep end. As you can tell, it looks like wet concrete, and that is because that is exactly the kind of soupy slosh that the water mixed with the aggregate did. In fact, if you look at the aggregate, it looks just like gray clay. And it was a very fine powder. There's all the aggregate. You can see it's packed down. It just looks like clay once it's packed, or sand. It very much so reminded me of sand when they were putting it in the hole, and reminded me obviously of concrete right over here on this edge as it was sloshing around. So the trail goes all the way back to the driveway. The first truck got stuck about just in front of where that skid steer is right now, and couldn't get back up into the yard, so it's kind of humped up right there because that's where they actually had to drop his loads. And the other one, the excavator, got stuck right here on this very edge, and literally it got all the way up to the top and could not get over the edge because this stuff was so mired into the treads. Well, there's the one that got stuck. So it was so mired into the treads, you can see it all the way up around the bumper on the rear. In fact, I'm surprised they didn't totally kill it, because there's the exhaust, and the exhaust was under the soupy mix as they were in there. Yeah, you can see it all the way around. That's how deep he was before they finally got him out. So it is about 6 o'clock, and I have quite a few things I'd like to get done before the sun goes down tonight if I can. And if the wind's blowing too bad, guys, I apologize. But there's supposed to be rain moving in tonight, and it's been a beautiful day. Wind just kind of goes hand in hand, I guess. I want to work around the flagpole and get some of those bricks set. I still have some of those paver bricks all the way in the back that I used for draining water. I got to get those brought up. I've already taken the pool cover and the hoses and moved them out of the way. I need to get this piece of chain link fence that's sitting out here in the middle of the yard moved. I've just been kind of doubling up or tripling up right around the fence that I put up temporarily, just to even make that stronger. And that'll work until I decide what I'm going to do with that fence. So I got to get it moved, and if I can get the blocks moved and I can get the fence moved, then and the patio pavers and the fence moved, then I will probably start digging around this flagpole so that I can get a sledgehammer in to the piece of concrete that I need to at least break out to ground level. So there is the concrete that I need to break up, and that is from the old flagpole base. And when I make this considerably smaller in diameter, I'm going to need that out of the way. And we would like to put at least a few inches of dirt over top of it to grow some flowers or something. So I'm gonna get working on that.